Hello BookTube, it's Ben here from the History Fella channel again. In today's video I'm going to title this How to Read Better for Students. The reason I'm doing this is because I was thinking back to my university days and when I was studying history. You're kind of just thrown into the course and you're expected to swim straight away, and I was thinking of all the tips that I learned over 3 years of doing history, and I thought, well, why not put this in a little video, and then it might help some people with their history, or you can use this for other subjects as well. But it's just like 10 hints and tips that might help other people out. So here goes. How to read better for students. Number 1, only read books you're interested in. Quite often you'll find when you're at university, say for example you're doing World War II, well, there's lots of different subjects within that topic that they could ask you to read information about or read up on. And for example, if you might know a lot about British history or maybe German history, but then you might have things to read about like Italian history or the course of the war and things like that. And it's always good to try and hone on the topics that you're particularly interested in. If you're not interested in the role of Italy during World War II and you find it boring, well then don't read about it. Pick another subject that is going to appeal to you more than the others. Number 2, take advantage of times and places you can read. And I've got here, for example, during your lunch hour, waiting for a train or a bus, or even turn off the TV when you're at home and read a book then. If you think about it, there are quite a few points during the day where we're doing nothing or twiddling our thumbs. So you can read during your lunch hour, or if you're on the bus or getting the train to uni, then you can take a book with you. The journey might be half an hour or an hour long, but that's time you can be using to read and general up on your subject. And then we've all had those times where we've sat watching the TV or something, we've not been interested in the programme, or it's just kind of like background noise. Then why not switch the telly off and then do some reading? Number 3, only read what you have to read. I remember when I first started history, I joined the course, and I think the first couple of days the lecturers all gave us these photocopies of book lists, and these were all the books they recommended that you read for their particular subject, and some of them they were like 20-30 books, or some other courses there were 10 to 15, or even 5, I think 5 to 10 was the lowest. But I looked at the list and think, oh my god, how am I going to get through all this reading? There's far too much. But actually, you don't have to read all the books. You don't have to read probably half of the books. What you need to do is make sure you read the right chapters. So if you go through the books, for example, I've got this book here. It's called Mastering Economics and Social History. Now this book is about 300 or 400 years worth of economic and social history. Now that probably is all small print. That would probably take me a good few days to read. Well, I haven't got that time if I'm a university student. So we'll just go through the subjects, or the chapters rather, and pick out the subjects and chapters that you need to read relevant to what you've been asked to look for. And then that also goes for, like, if you're using a library, and sometimes you can't take all the books out, but most libraries have a photocopying service. Photocopy the chapters that you need and then you've got all that information you can take home with you, and you've got all the relevant information that will help you. Number 4, turn off any distractions. Certainly I know if you're sharing a house with someone at university and you've got roommates, not everybody's going to want to study at the same time, or they'll have the TV on, or their music, or chat and something like that. Try and find something quiet, somewhere quiet and relaxed, and you can read and take notes. Number 5, I've got photocopying specific chapters again, but that also goes for like facts and figures or quotes. And there are usually specific, the lecturers will give you this list of books, but you can usually tell by the titles whether they're going to be quotes heavy or statistical type books. Especially use those books for your photocopying work, so that you've got them, then you've photocopied them, you can put them in a folder, take them home with you, and then you've got those statistics ready and waiting for you. Number 6, if you need to remember something, or a quote, or if you've got specific year dates, economic type figures, then write them in a notebook specific to that subject. And don't, in a book, sometimes you'll get a book out of the library and you'll find the previous readers underlined half the sentences in the chapter, or they've used one of those highlighter pens. Don't do that, because you're ruining the book, and chances are you're not going to remember anyway, because you'll just scan through the highlighted bits and you're missing out. Although you're getting some of the important information, you're missing the roundabout info that goes along with it. So write the specific important notes down in a book, so you've always got them to hand. Number 7, don't read when you're tired. We've all had those times where you're staying up late night to read this book, ready for the following day or the day after, and you're trying to cram read all the words and info. But to be honest, when you're tired and you're sort of nodding off and you can't really concentrate, you're better off using that time just to sleep. Get the energy back into your body, and then you'll be feeling fitter in the morning when you wake up. Number 8, talk about the book or the subject with your friends. And by that I mean, if you're on a course, often there's like 10, 15 of you, have a chat about the subject. When I was at university, you'd have the lecture first, and that would be for about an hour, and then either straight after or the following day you'd have a seminar when you'd sit with the lecturer and you'd all chat about it and discuss things and all the important information. If you can do that beforehand, that's going to help you greatly, because the more you chat about a subject with your mates, you get to learn what they thought, and it helps reinforce what you've learned in your head if you're talking about it. So that really helps with your learning and remembering the facts and figures as well. Number 9, if you don't like what you're reading, then stop. Often you'll find for assignments you'll have the lecturer give you probably a dozen questions, and they'll say, right, pick one of these and I want you to do a 3,000 word essay on it. Always go for your favourite one. Don't pick something obscure and think, well, that sounds unusual, you're probably not going to get many essays on that, I'll do that. But the trouble is, you're going to find that boring. You need to concentrate on what you know the most about. And then lastly, or last of all, I've got check the end of the chapter first in case of a quiz. The reason for this is some books, the author's written the chapter, and then at the back or after each chapter they'll have like a list of possible exam questions. If you go back to the end, if you go to the end of the chapter, read the questions first. Then when you go back and read the chapter, you then know what to look out for and how to answer the questions. And you often find the authors, although they know their subject, they've often been exam graders in the past, and they've marked people's work before, so that they're writing their chapter and the questions are very relevant to what's likely to come up. So there you have it. Hopefully good luck to you. You might find some of those tips important or helpful for you. If you've got any tips on if you're reading up for exams, or maybe you're going to university and would like some more advice, just put the questions below the video and I'll see what I can come up with. Other than that, thanks very much for watching the video, and I shall see you in the next video.